Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker. Thank you so much for joining us here for Bayou Time. Always glad to get updates from the man who knows those kinds of things. We welcome back into the program Earl Eues, again, Director of the Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. And so, Earl, man, I mean, you must get tired of kind of switching hats, man.
Well, no, I'm pretty used to it. I mean, looking back, I'm on my 13th year as the Director of Emergency Preparedness, and it's something that I really enjoy doing, and I tell everybody I kind of have a passion for it, even though it's hard for others when there's a disaster.
Right.
But when we have the staff that we have, like we have with the parish, it just makes the job so much easier, and the whole deal is to help as many people as we can, and the parish is working very hard trying to help those that need housing.
Right, and they just, hats off to Chris Pulaski and that crew and what they're doing, and the communication is the other really good thing. And that's what I like about the team that you have, the team with them and with the parish, is the great communication that we have just to try to do this kind of recovery that we're trying to deal with.
Right, and it's going to be a long-term recovery for a lot of people. At the present time, FEMA's doing what they can, and the state's doing things. The state stepped aboard and did a sheltering program with travel trailers and base camps. They had never done that before ever.
Historic.
For any storm within the state. So even with Laura, there's a lot of, I call it bureaucracy, and it's probably what it is with FEMA and trying to get people their trailers, and the state figured they could do it a little faster. So, right now the state's got 1,912 trailers in Terrebonne.
Wow.
Of those, 1,555 are currently occupied.
Okay.
And people are in them. And what you have to remember, that's not just people, that's families.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, and then the others are in some type of process of either getting permitting, electrical, sewer, water, or something to do the hookup or the installation.
Right.
So it takes a little while to get that done.
Or the education about the trailer.
That's true. And then FEMA's got about 300 trailers out right now, mostly what they call mobile home units.
Right.
And they're placed in commercial parks right now. And you may have some in private property. But they are building a 50 unit commercial park right now in Bayou Blue, right. For another 50 units, and then they're in the process of building another facility. I think it's going to have close to 100 or maybe a little more than 100 units.
Wow.
So once those are completed, the trailers will come in a little quicker. It's just been hard to find places to build these commercial.
Right. Well, we've had such damage in so many places. We've had such infrastructure damage, and that's what takes so long to really recover. And just getting all of the people that we need to do all the work to get it done. Everybody, seems to be needing work and getting that skilled labor to take care of that.
Yeah, and it's hard to find workers. Some of these companies are having a hard time finding employees, so it's kind of, they can't work as fast as they used to.
Right.
And then the supply.
Right, the delay in the supply chain.
So there are some issues, and like I said, the recovery is going to be a long time. FEMA has come in along with the state to start helping us with long-term recovery. So we should see some progress with that, and I think FEMA's already put in about $300 million within the community for individual assistance, including Small Business Association loans. So monies have been sent out to those that have made claims to within disasterassistance.gov for FEMA. So now, on that note,
right, speaking of that, right, let's talk about the DRC.
Yeah, the Disaster Recovery Center, which is located at the East Park Recreation Center, will be closing on February 25th. There's not a lot of people utilizing the facility, so they're going to be closing it down. I think it'll be 6 p.m. on February 25th. But don't fear, if you need some assistance, you can call FEMA on their 800 number, and that number is 1-800-631-3362. Once again, that's 1-800-631-3362. If you have any questions regarding your claim, you can also go online too if you have that capability.
At disasterassistance.gov.
That's correct.
So recovery leads us into what we need to be prepared for as the clock is ticking now. We got to start thinking about how this disaster and our recovery kind of is leading us into preparation for the next storm season.
That is correct. So at the end of February, we'll have 4 months before the next hurricane season. So, March, April, May, June, 4 months. So people need to start preparing now on, where they're going to go if we've asked for a mandatory evacuation again. The parish will provide transportation and a shelter in Monroe like we did this past storm.
Right.
So that is available to everyone. But we have, we got almost 2,000 people in mobile homes and trailers that we did not have. When I say people, families.
Right.
Okay.
Families.
In trailers and mobile homes that weren't there last year.
Right.
So they need to start preparing on where they're going to go if there's a mandatory evacuation call. And we're probably, with tropical storms and category 1s and 2s, we're probably going to issue a mandatory evacuations for those in mobile homes and travel trailers,
right,
because they won't withstand those winds either.
Right. So it's just something to start thinking about. We're going to keep talking about it as time goes by. It's just one of those things we want to plant in people's minds to just be prepared for you and your family. So Earl, as always, we thank you for the updates for what's happening with recovery. And as always, the planning that we start, you start hurricane preparedness for the next year as soon as, January 1, right?
Well, December.
You're right, December 1, that's right.
That's right.
That's right. You don't even get the break, you don't even get the holiday break. You start December 1.
That's correct.
And so we'll do that. Earl, we thank you for your time as always.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, guys, and that will do it for this segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou Time when we continue.